Hi, I'm Linda from Barlates Body Blitz. Welcome to today's coffee talk, which is going to be all about handstands. If you've been following my channel for a little while, you will have noticed that I've incorporated quite a lot of what I call mini handstands into my workouts. So they're functional training, they use pretty much your entire body, and they're just fantastic for helping to build balance as well as coordination and strength pretty much in your entire body, but especially in your upper body, your shoulders, your arms, even your core. So if you've watched some of my previews and you thought, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do that, I want to explain how simple a mini handstand can be and what the correct form is. Okay, so the first thing is you need to be comfortable with being in an inverted position. So often you'll be doing exercises which are in a down dog position in many workouts, including yoga, some Pilates workouts, and nowadays a lot of different workouts will use down dog positions for various toning exercises. So all a down dog is coming into a position where your hands and your feet are approximately shoulder width apart, and depending on how flexible you are, your heels are trying to be as close to the ground as possible, and your arms are also nice and straight. Now, you're not locking anything out. You're keeping your knees slightly soft and your elbows slightly soft, but you're in this position and you're basically carrying your weight between your arms and your legs. Now, you will have noticed I've been doing a lot of exercises in this position, such as, for example, glute raises, where you just pick up one leg, even large range glute raises where you go forward and back like this. So you would have seen a lot of exercises in that position. Now from there, it isn't that difficult to start progressing to a handstand move. The main difference is that you're going to start transferring more of your weight and pretty much all of your weight onto your hands instead of keeping them split between your arms and your legs, okay? So coming back down into this down dog position, instead of staying with your arms kind of pushed back like this, you're going to be more forward. You can start coming up on your tippy toes. Now the key is to keep really great alignment with your neck and spine. So as you come up into a mini handstand, which is literally just pushing off, instead of looking down at your hands, you need to be looking at your feet, because that's what's going to keep your head and neck in alignment with your spine. So you're pressing your palms into the floor, you're bringing your back leg slightly towards the center, and then you're just creating some momentum and pushing up. So you can just start with that, simply looking at your feet, pushing up. Very simple. And you're just jumping a tiny little bit off the mat. And that will give you the feeling of holding your weight on your hands. So you really need to make sure your arms are directly underneath your shoulders as you push off. So that is the mini handstand, and from there you can progress. Now another way to get stronger in that position is to practice doing them against the wall. And some people prefer to do that because then if you misjudge it, you actually have the wall to put your feet up against. So the way you can practice is put your hands, again, close to the wall, and it's easier to get momentum here. So you might want to come down and then bring your heels up against the wall. So again, look at your alignment here. Are you looking away from your hands? Don't look down at your hands. Are you looking towards the opposite wall? And are your shoulders directly aligned over your wrists? You should be in a straight line here. And then you can easily come back down from there, and you can continue to try doing this up and down. And the closer your hands are to the wall, actually, the better. You can even touch the back of your legs against the wall as you do this. And that is a better position to be in because it creates more of a straight line all the way from your hands to the tips of your toes or to your heels. So that is a way for you to practice getting really strong in that position. If you are not there yet, then don't do that because it does take a lot of shoulder strength, okay? So with any of these mini handstands, you can get stronger and stronger by strengthening your shoulders, especially in that inverted position. Another way you can strengthen your shoulders is by doing down dog push-ups. So once again, you get into your down dog position, and then you look at your feet and you bring your head, the top of your head, down towards the ground. Tap it and come back up. I'll show you from a different angle. So you're in that down dog, you're tapping your head down and coming back up. Tapping your head down and coming back up. Okay, so doing this will strengthen the muscles in the tops of your shoulders, which will help you to do those mini handstands. So I'm going to show you a few variations now of the handstands, starting with the easiest, going to slightly harder. I'm not going to go up against the wall, but if you prefer to do that, you can. But I want you to try and become more and more comfortable doing it just in the middle of the floor. Okay, so starting again with that very first variation, and remember, you can even do glute raises here, okay? So if you don't want to even lift off, just do a glute raise. Secondly, you can lift off a tiny bit. Remember, you're looking at your toes, you're not looking at your hands, so you're lifting off a little bit. Next, if you want to, you can bend the back leg up. So the supporting leg, you can bend it in half. You're still looking through at your feet. Next, if you want to straighten both legs, you can tap your ankles together. So it's up, tap, and down. Up, tap, and down. If you prefer, you can put them side by side instead of crossing. Up, cross, and down. So even just doing that is going to strengthen your arms significantly. Now, there are some advanced variations as well, which include doing a tiny little push-up pump whilst you're in handstand with your legs extended, and also opening your legs out at the top. I'll show those just to give you an idea, but I don't actually use them too much in my workouts because I realize that some people might be a little bit over-ambitious and fall and injure themselves. So these ones are very advanced modifications. If you feel comfortable doing it, try it, but maybe have a wall near you, or at least be in the center of a room with no furniture around, so that if you do fall over, you've got cushioning to fall onto. I have done this many times that I've just misjudged it. Most of the time, you just end up falling towards the side, and because of your arms and your legs, you can just kind of support yourself and it's not too messy. But, you know, sometimes we can make pretty big mistakes. So if you're game, I'm going to show you now a modification where we're going to go into a mini handstand, and we're just going to do a split-second little push-up in the handstand, okay? So I'm going to just get into position, push-up, handstand. Okay, so once again, push-up and back down. It's up, tiny push-up and back down. Tummy's in, look at your feet, push-up and back down. So it's a tiny little elbow bend, okay? You can even attempt to do this with just your half leg if you want to. So when bending the back leg. So you can do it as long as you feel comfortable. Now the other variation is that we open our legs out at the top in a kind of V. Okay, so the way you do that is, again, perfect alignment, open and back down. Again, you need to make sure that you are in that handstand, then open and back down. Depending on how long you can hold it up there, you might be able to open further. So it's out, in, and back down. Out, in, and back down, okay? So they are 2 handstand variations for you that are super cool to do, and they will increase your core strength and your shoulder strength even more than just doing the mini handstands. Now, the most important part is to remember that everyone starts somewhere. So if you are not there yet, choose the easiest modifications, down dog glute raises. I have another video which talks about even easier modifications. If you can't get into a down dog position because of your wrists or certain injuries that you might have, sore back, knees, things like that, look at my other coffee talk which talks about easier modifications, and that will show you about using different elevations to make my workouts doable for you. The most important part is that it's challenging for you and that you are enjoying it, okay? You don't want to be doing something that you actually just don't think is in your ballpark and that you're just not enjoying at the end of the day, okay? So I have got workouts which are in a more beginner range. They're still not easy because they're Barlates beginner. Start with those and work your way up. I'm also progressing in my fitness. I'm always trying new things. These mini handstands are something that I've started throwing in, and a lot of the functional training moves. So I'm sharing that with you guys, but by all means, if you prefer traditional mat workouts, check out those. If you prefer bar workouts where you're really composed and it's all slow and controlled, I've got lots of those. If you want a more beginner series, starting to introduce some of these principles but not going into handstands and things like that, then go to my beginner intervals. So I have got over 500 workouts for you to choose, either on YouTube or on my website, available as downloads or on DVD. So make sure you find workouts that you enjoy, that challenge you, yes, but that are doable for you at your current fitness level. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If there's any more information you need about that, please leave some comments below. Please like this video if the information was something that is going to help you with my workouts, and make sure you subscribe because I've got loads and loads and loads of workouts coming up. I've got a beginner's mat series coming up, some sliders workouts, loop workouts, an endurance 120 series, so that one's going to be crazy. So definitely subscribe and I'll talk to you soon.